The really, really simple question. How old are you?
I believe that I'm 26.
Apple Cider Vinegar, a true-ish story on Netflix, but where is the ish and where is the true? So there's a lot of questions about what did she lie about, and a lot of things that I would go with are what didn't she? I would start from there, because if it's something that is only corroborated by Belle and maybe Clive, her like live-in that they broke up since then, I made another video about it, you can go watch that. But then I would just go with it's not true.
I didn't trade in my story or in other people's lives.
You did trade in your story. Belle, it's all here.
It is there.
All here. You know, you go on Instagram in 2013. I have been healing a severe and malignant brain cancer for the past few years with natural medicine, Gerson therapy and foods. It's working for me.
It is.
Was she trading in her story? Which obviously we know yes to that. But the important point to point out between the show and reality, we're watching clips from actual interviews. So it's not called what it is in the show. In the show, they keep calling it the Hirsch method, which doesn't exist. It's based largely on something called Gerson therapy. Now, when it comes to this, they say that it is totally legit, but the amount of legit peer-reviewed scholarly studies that you can find on this are almost zero. I'm talking between 3 and 5 that you can actually find. And a lot of the reviews that declare this to be legit will have the last name Gerson on them or someone that is very friendly to what they wanted to do. The similarities, even though they changed the name though, are striking, including the Java juice up the poop chute several times a day. In the limited, legitimately scholarly, peer-reviewed studies that I could find, they found that this actually even more so, rather than just not helping, can hurt you because of the coffee things. You're really not supposed to do that many a day. It can cause problems for you, but that's where I'm gonna pump my brakes, stop explaining it to you, encourage you to talk to somebody, if you're ever in this situation, who is qualified to have that conversation. I am neither scientist nor Keebler-Elf, nor are a lot of these people trying to explain things to you that they shouldn't be explaining to you because they are also not scientists or Keebler-Elves.
Little boy with brain cancer in the show was real, and unfortunately he passed away.
So that was the real Chanel from the show, but I'm going to do another video where we're going to do the real who's who, because that is, there's a lot going on there. But that little boy, not only did she defraud that family, pocketed the money that was donated for him, she also got close with them so that she could mimic his symptoms to make herself more believable. Now this next one, I'm not going to include any clips with it because it is really sensitive, especially like we don't know each other, you don't know my past, whatever. But in episode 3, there is a scene where birth is given to a child that is no longer there, and they take pictures and all that stuff. There is no evidence that that ever happened, and I'm sorry the way this person was. If there were pictures of them in that state after something like that had happened, they would have been all over the internet. Nobody can confirm that except Clive and Belle. So I would take that with so many grains of salt. We can call it the Salt Lake. With Netflix, I see you too. I get dramatization and all of that stuff, but you didn't have to go that far, especially knowing there's no pictures of that and that never happened. It really did seem like you were trying to create sympathy for someone who's not sympathetic. So let's do better.
I believe that I'm 26. I have two birth certificates and I've had my name changed 4 times. The identity crisis there is big, but that was my normal when I was growing up, Tara. That
What do you know the truth to be now?
that's probably a question that we'll have to keep digging for, because it's not something I've ever understood or had answers around.
Did she lie about her age? Yes, she absolutely did. And through all of this, she kind of stayed 26, even to reason. So I think that's just what she's planning on, the age she's gonna be. Of course, the big one, did she have cancer and did she ever provide medical records? So no, absolutely she did not, but she did provide medical records that, okay.
She went away, and I went away thinking, well, we'll never see those medical records. Clearly, they don't exist. But guess what? They do exist. After our interview, Belle finally did hand over a few medical records, but you have to wonder why, because this one is damning. It shows, yes, she did visit the Alfred Hospital in Melbourne, and yes, she did have a brain scan, but she didn't go because she thought she had brain cancer, and curiously, she didn't even mention she had brain cancer. She went because she was now convinced she had multiple sclerosis. The scan revealed she didn't have MS, but most importantly, it also showed there was no sign of a brain tumour.
She did get checked out and was 100% aware that she was fine from all of these things, but that segues us kind of into the family because they mention MS. And Belle herself went through a long time saying that she had taken care of her mom, all this stuff. It was even in her cookbook.
You can buy
This is that time, but in a cookbook where you hit jump to recipe and it explains all this stuff. And she's saying all these diagnoses, this is what was going on in my house. But when the mom was asked about it, as well as the brother, this is what they said in response. Now, keep in mind, we got a lot coming from a lot of places. So who knows who you can believe, but even this, all of it, everything about this woman in her past is contested by someone. Mom's got a lot going on though too. So that's important because this was what they had to say. And then after everything else came out, Mom did another article saying it was just a little white lie. Why is everyone so mad at her? It was like, these people are a lot, aren't they? Another one of the biggest asked questions, does she really have a kid? Yes, she really has a kid. But that kind of wraps us up here. We're going to go into the characters. Like the character of Mila, is that a real person? Yes and no. A lot of these characters are amalgams, or even if the character is real, certain things will be changed. Like the reporters, one of them did have a wife who was struggling with some of that stuff, but that character is not based on her. It's an amalgam of a bunch of other people.
The diagnosis was like out of left field. I feel like I was in the prime of my life. I had only been married for 1 year and a week when I got the diagnosis.
Although Lucy, the character from the show, is not solely based on Kate Thomas, she was one of the people who was interviewed because that character is supposed to represent all of the people that were affected by Belle. And the similarities are really striking because this was a book that was written by the original people who wrote the articles that kind of blew this up. But that is a video for tomorrow or the day after. My oldest is having their wisdom teeth out, so we're doing that today. Wish her luck, and I'll see you guys then. Have a good day.